Hello there, everybody. The Comic Doctor coming to you from my workshop in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. I wanted to put a series of videos together outlining the more popular comic books that are submitted to me on a very regular basis. I thought that I would start off with the most popular character in all of comic fandom, that being Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's creation, Spider-Man. I realize that there are lots of videos out there detailing various Spider-Man comic books, but again, this video really is intended for collectors and investors that are curious about which books should be on their want list. This video will especially be beneficial to viewers that are new to the hobby. Okay, so let's face it, the first 50 issues of Amazing Spider-Man are clearly the most popular Spider-Man books there are, and are the ones most die-hard collectors and keen investors are looking for, especially in high grade. So let's ignore these at this point because it'll take a few episodes at least to cover these. There are so many first appearances, key plot lines, and situations that are so critical to the beginnings of the character that it will take a long time to go over them all. So that being said, for argument's sake, let's just say that issues 1 through 50 of Amazing Spider-Man should be on your hit list. Okay, so which comics between issues 51 and 100 are most frequently submitted to the Comic Doctor? Well, I'll tell you, there are pretty much only three. The first one being number 78, featuring the first appearance of the Prowler. Now, we see the Prowler in 2019's Into the Spider-Verse, and that film obviously brought a lot more attention to the character, but to be honest, issue 78 has been a regular submission candidate well before his appearance in the film. Next, we have issue 86, and this particular comic guest stars everyone's favorite S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, the Black Widow. Other than these two issues, we have issue 100, and since this is an anniversary issue, I do see this one quite often here at the Doc's office as well. Now let's take a look at issues 101 to 200. First off, we have issue 101. Now this has been a very popular comic here at the shop for as long as I've been pressing. However, since the announcement of Morbius' solo film, due out later this year, the value of issue 101 has skyrocketed, and so now I see this comic even more often than before. Next, we have issues 121 and 122, which of course feature one of the most popular story arcs in the Marvel Universe, that being the death of Gwen Stacy and the Green Goblin. Now, these are two super hot books that are on the want list for every Spidey fan, and I rarely see one without the other. But the big kahuna in the 100s is of course issue 129 with the first appearance of The Punisher. This book continues to escalate in value and popularity, and I see copies of this book at the office almost on a weekly basis. But perhaps because 129 is so popular and pricey, I often also see issue 135 being submitted from time to time. And 135 is, of course, the second appearance of the Punisher. To finish off the 100s, we have the first appearance of the Black Cat in issue 194. Now, this has also been a very popular submission for quite some time. This comic is hard to find in high grade because of its black cover, but it is a frequent flyer here at the Doc's office and finishes off the 100s. Okay, so now we move on to issues 201 to 300, and we start with Amazing Spider-Man 210, featuring the first appearance of Madam Web. Now, Madam Web has appeared in various forms on Spider-Man cartoons and other comic books, but the recent talk of a Madam Web TV series has created more buzz for this character, and so this humdrum issue has gained in popularity. So let's take a look at issue 212 with the first appearance of Hydro Man. Now, this comic popped in value last year when fans around the globe were certain that Hydro Man was to appear in last year's film, Spider-Man Far From Home. Well, that wasn't the case. Hydro Man was not featured in the movie, and soon after that revelation, this particular issue's popularity and price tag fell. That being said, I still see issues 212 submitted quite often. Probably one of the biggest issues in the 200s is the first appearance of the Hobgoblin. Of course, I'm talking about Amazing Spider-Man 238. Now, this issue, one of my personal favorites, shows a mysterious character stumbling upon the secret lair of the long-dead Green Goblin, and doing so creates a new foe for Spidey. This comic has steadily gone up in value over the last several years, especially the Canadian price variant. Oh, and the included tattoos are a must for the serious collector. Following the introduction of Spider-Man's new black symbiote costume in Marvel Secret Wars number 8, we see this new suit featured in Spider-Man issue 252. This front cover design is a swipe from Amazing Fantasy 15 and is very sought after by collectors, especially in the rare Canadian variant. An issue that just recently gained popularity over the last couple of years is Amazing Spider-Man 265. Why did this issue start to gain in popularity? Well, speculation, of course. Issue 265 features the first appearance of Silver Sable. And yes, there's been talks about a Silver Sable film for a few years now. Next, we have issue 298, which is a very important book because it contains the first ever artwork of Todd McFarlane in a Spider-Man series. McFarlane's dynamic style really took Spider-Man fans for a wild ride. John Romita Sr.'s iconic Spider-Man look had been in play since ASM 38, and even after retiring from the series, artists that followed simply mimicked Romita's style. That is, until McFarlane took over. It was McFarlane that brought some much-needed changes to Spider-Man, and he did so by introducing readers to an exciting and modern Spider-Man universe. Issue 299 features the first cameo appearance of Spider-Man's most vicious villain in the modern age, Venom. Then, finally in issue 300, we have the first full appearance of Eddie Brock as Venom, and that book is as hot today as it was back when it was released. The only difference being is that now a near-mint copy will cost significantly more than it did in 1988. Well, that'll just about do it for this video outlining the key Amazing Spider-Man comic books most sought after by collectors and investors, and most often submitted to me here at the Comic Doctor's office. Now, there are many more Amazing Spider-Man modern age comics that I can discuss, and I would likely do so at a later date. Because I see so many comics in my office on a regular basis, I have the unique opportunity to see buying trends, and hence get a sneak peek into which books might just become the next big thing. That being said, if there's a particular comic book, series, or character that you'd like me to examine on a future episode, please let me know in the comments section below. If you found this video entertaining or educational, please hit the like button, and if you don't mind, the subscribe button would be nice too. As this community grows here on YouTube, I will try and create more of the content that you want as comic book collectors, investors, and fans. Until next time, take care of yourselves and check back soon for new videos.